Okay.
DI Group sues Manasseh 10 million Ghana cedis over Castle Militia report. So the DI Group, which we have established that in spite of their website, which describes them as a company that provides security services, they are not actually licensed to do so. They were operating from the castle, which is a state installation, and JoyNews put together a report in a documentary form that highlighted the work they were doing there. It highlighted their affiliation to the NPP. It highlighted the fact that they themselves in the past had described themselves as a vigilante group. And the fact that we today, as part of our campaign, not just JoyNews, but all like-minded Ghanaians, are describing vigilante groups as militia groups. But DI Group has taken the matter to court. They say they do not wish to be described as, well, they say they would like to sue JoyNews and Manasseh for describing them as a militia group. I'll ask no questions. I'll just ask for your thoughts. Mr. Mercer.
Well, I guess that it's a right that is guaranteed any entity, any person, and of course, persons include entities as well, to, as it were, resort to the law courts if they so feel that some statement or some work or some actions of another causes them some injury. And so to that extent, I think that is the right thing to do, rather than, you know, as it were, using some unorthodox means. And I was very disappointed to hear that some threats had been issued on Manasseh's life. And I think that the Ghana Police Service should spare no effort at all in ensuring that we get to the bottom of whoever issued those threats. I mean, you know, Manasseh is a good friend of mine. You know, we've been, indeed, I was even having a conversation with him over the weekend, you know, and I admire his work. Of course, he is human, and so it may not be the case that he will get everything right at all times.
But did he get it right to this one?
Oh, I think that the description of the... Look, there is no denying that some film was taken at the Castle Gardens in which these young men were captured. And so it is not for me to, unlike you people, say it was doctored and that they picked the scenes from somewhere and transposed it onto Castle Gardens. No. These were seen by all of us. And you see, for the first time, I actually watched an investigative documentary. I've never watched any of those ones by Mr. Arimeyao. Never, ever.
Why did you watch this one?
Because I was interested, and because it was Manasseh's work, and because of the credibility that he's built for himself. And so I actually...
You're given the criteria for watching. Because he's your friend and credibility. So I'm just trying to see what, how do you describe Anas's
I see where Mr. Bauer is going.
I will not fall for the temptation. But Kojo understands why I said that. He does. Because we've spoken about why I have that view. Of course, I don't endorse Anas's mood of investigative journalism. I do not have,
and we'll discuss that another day.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, so I took particular interest. But when the tape ended, I was like, oh, so is that it? Look, the spate of vigilantism, party foot soldiers or boys who are used to provide security for parties, ought to stop. No doubt. I've said this consistently, that political parties encouraging these young men, facilitating their work, using them, because the state apparatus fails to provide security for political parties when they are in opposition poses a danger to this country. And so I endorse wholeheartedly the call made by His Excellency the President for both parties who want to do this to dialogue and find solutions to resolving the problem. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and say that, look, because the gentleman used to be the bodyguard of then candidate, or in fact at the time he wasn't even a candidate, and ceased to be a bodyguard of His Excellency the President all the way back in 2010. And because he's associated with the party, they had given him some task to carry out, for which they gave him an office, and he subsequently exploited the office for some private work. It's justifiable. No, these are I'm not. No apologies at all. Okay, but the vigilante militia group. What's the problem?
So you are saying that the DI group is not a vigilante group?
That's not what I wouldn't be in a position to say whether they are party people who are used for party security. Of course, I saw the footage at a conference center, but I have never heard their name until the documentary. But of course.
But you watched the documentary?
Yes, I did. The suggestion was that they had been in existence for a while.
And you saw that their leadership, members of their leadership, had been interviewed by other networks. And in those interviews, they had described themselves as vigilante groups affiliated to the NPP.
So
that's their own description of themselves.
Well, yes. I mean, that doesn't necessarily make it factual. And if they were associated,
so they were lying.
Wait. No, let me make the point.
Right.
Let me make the point. If they were affiliated to the MPP, yes. So we now know that these are part of the groups that
you didn't know earlier on.
No, I hadn't heard of them before.
Okay.
And I'm being very candid with you.
So if they describe themselves as vigilante groups, and we are describing all vigilante groups as militias, why should they be an exception?
Well, that is his right to, as it were, complain for that description. And so if he feels that going to court is what would aid him in because of course militia, I think that the word militia within the context that my own learned professor Henrietta Mensah Bonsu had used it in the Ayawaso West Wogon commission hearings has been completely misapplied. Yes, that's my view. Okay, because I listened to aspects of the hearing on the day that she used that word. She used it in a particular context. Yes. And look, that is not to say that these boys do not exist. They do. But as to whether they are malicious or not, I disagree.
Really? So,
yes.
so what because, you want to see? You want to see them in camouflage, holding AK-47 before you be convinced
I don't
that their purpose is exactly the same as a militia.
See them there. I want to see their end, and so I do not wish for them to graduate to uniformed men. No, but I'm saying that I've worked with some of them. As a matter of fact. Not the eye.
No, but some of the
yes, like, you deny you haven't. Yes.
Which one? Invisible Force?
Invisible Force or Delta Force?
Invisible Force, they are all over the country. It's a fact.
Worked with some of
them.
So
which of them did you?
Security for us
we are not saying that.
Platforms.
Which one did you work with? That's the point we are making.
From my region.
No. Which group is that one?
But
it's a matter of fact. You guys pretend the Ghanaian people will be the judges.
No, I'm happy.
Okay. See, look, when we go in on campaign platforms, we mount platforms. You are not there. Boys provide security. It's a fact. We're going round.
I know.
They sit in your cars.
I don't do that.
It's a fact.
I don't do that.
You deny it.
I don't do that. My
it's fine.
constituents are there. They can call in.
People across the country know political parties use these people.
No, I will come to that. So now let me not take my bite on.
All right. Yes, I won't ask you a question either. Please go ahead.
Sincerity on you people's part will be exposed.
Mr. Manasseh, please allow him. We don't have a lot of time left.
First and foremost, I'm disappointed that this story will have its way on the front page of Daily Guide. Of course, it's their editorial discretion to exercise that, so it is within their right. As yet, I'm disappointed in it because this is something we should not even in the first place encourage. And I'll explain to you why. The only challenge they have is the name they have given to them, that's Militia. That's the problem. But they have no problem about the job that or what they were purported to be doing. At least it has been established very clearly that they were captured doing, and the type of names, the names they were giving to themselves. I'm a product of barracks. My father was a military officer. And when you hear Alpha, Company, Charlie, Bravo, these are all names associated with military. You understand? We all heard in the footage the commander.
That's cadet, they don't use Alpha, Bravo.
It's part of it's all because they are mimicking that.
But you know how cadet is formed.
Yes, I know.
And you know how they are regulated.
Yes.
So
it's the same thing. It's the same thing. This is the challenge we have with this one. One, when this documentary
to wear military uniform, they didn't.
I couldn't make it. I would have loved to go. But that is a service that the military provides to private companies. Yeah. It's called team building. I think the members of parliament should enjoy it.
Enjoy it. I mean,
you will appreciate it.
Look,
it's really good. But we didn't come out as military men, and we haven't been operating in camouflage since.
But have
let me make my point. Don't distract me. Now you had a situation when the documentary came out. You had the director of communication at the presidency saying that look, they checked this thing and these guys they didn't know about them, that they were not there. They had made his checks. That's the director of communications at the presidency. And I can understand why he would have made that statement. He would have made that statement on the basis of the fact that you had ministers of state who work at the presidency, some of them being there. You had Honorable Bukare, that's where his office is. Boniface and Co, that's where they have their offices. So he had checked that, and this was the problem. Then you have the Minister of Information saying, oh, we checked. Yes, they were there. But you see, they were there illegally because the office they were using, it was meant for something in terms of the confiscation of government vehicles from ex-appointees and other things. My brother, let me make a point and make it very clear. This country, if we do not get up and fight this whole menace of militias, we're going to, whether it is NDC or MPP, all of us are guilty of this, and we need to deal with it. The next point we need to look at is the dialogue that the president has initiated. The NDC's position, and it's consistent with civil society organizations. Now look, two of us are the culprits in this thing. Let's get other independent people to come and facilitate that.
Say that you've changed from mediation.
Please, Mr. Manasseh, our time is running out. Let's not.
No, now you've changed from mediation.
So mediation and facilitation. Okay, let me use mediation to mediate it.
Please.
Can I make my point?
I'm going to wrap up and go to my colleague.
But because the president does not believe in what he says, he simply is not interested, and he's not really interested in independent bodies being part of this process. Because we want transparency in the whole process. And we need independent people. We need a peace council. We need a religious body. We need some of the experts, what they call security experts, to be part of this. They are not ready to do it because you have the president's own former bodyguard. As they say he's a former bodyguard, being the head of a militia. And I'm saying this, a militia. The threats to Manasseh, and I'll say it, and I agree with you, that this is something they must investigate. Me, for two reasons. Manasseh is my brother. Two, he's my constituent.
Okay.
And I will also be interested in seeing how the president, the police initiates these investigations.
I'm getting a signal we must move on. But I'm hoping that you commit to disband party militias.
I'm fully committed to that.
Mr.
Fully committed to that.
Okay, happy to hear that. Right then. Now,
you must stop first.
Thank you, gentlemen, both for your time.